It's 2 days before cataract surgery, and something came up. I thought I want to record this now and tell you a couple other things I would have wanted to know if someone could have just told me. Hi, I'm GloryB, and this is GloryB-TV. So I'm 2 days before cataract surgery on my left eye, and in the first video, I showed you the plan for the eye drops. So there are 3 eye drops they gave me. One is for after surgery, and these 2 are for before and probably after. So I started these yesterday, and here's what I would have wanted to know. So the first one is the anti-inflammatory. This is the Cataract, and this one is liquidy, just like you would expect eye drops to be. They sting a little bit, but it goes away. So that, no surprise. But the surprise one is the one they call the antibiotic, which for me is the best advance. This is a really thick, almost goopy eye drop, and I can't put them in my eyes just standing in front of my bathroom mirror like I do for my regular eye drops that are just for dryness. So these, I have to use a 10x mirror and pull out my eye and put the little drop in. Now, these are the ones that are 3 times a day. The bottle is smaller than this one. It's a small bottle, 3 times a day, and it's supposed to be enough for when we do my right eye. So I'm hoping, well, I would imagine I'm going to use this after surgery. They're not going to tell me till surgery day how I'm going to use the drops and how much and how often and which ones until I arrive with surgery. And I said, well, please tell me you're going to hand it to me in writing and not tell me because I won't remember. And they said, yes, they're going to give it to me in writing. The nurse said that anyway. So this one, I want to see if I can show it to you. It's kind of hard because my vision isn't great and I need to do the 10 times mirror. So I want to show you how to do that. The other thing is I did have a conversation with the surgeon, and then of course the nurse called me and told me what time to be there, and they left this long voicemail, and I'm like, okay. And she's obviously wearing a mask and everything was muffled, so I had to call back and talk to somebody. They always seem to be in a hurry. I don't know what that's about. I asked her to tell me everything that the other nurse told me, and she left out some things, and I said, well, I remember her saying something about such and such. It's very confusing about whether I'll be put under or not. So the surgeon said, well, you'll be awake. And I said, well, why do I need to not eat or drink after midnight? Or now I can't drink anything after 6:15 in the morning, but I can't eat anything after midnight. And, you know, if I'm not going to be put under. And then he said something about there being an anesthesiologist there, and he said we do give you something, but it's a liquid that you drink. I don't know. Then the nurse said, no, we either give you a Xanax or a Valium. And I'm like, I've taken Valium one time in my life, and that was when I had LASIK surgery over 20 years ago. And it was a person at the front counter when I checked in who goes, here's the Valium if you want it, and here's a cup of water. And all it does is relax you. Well, then she said, well, it's because even though it's not a real anesthetic of any kind, anesthesia, you are lying back all the way. And some people, when they lie back all the way, if they've been eating or drinking in those hours, it'll come up. Okay. Somebody should have told me that before, because, you know, you're giving me the same thing that I had for LASIK surgery, but you're treating it as if I'm being under. And then I obviously got my hair highlighted yesterday, and I said to my stylist, so if you're just giving me a Valium for this cataract surgery, then why is there an anesthesiologist present for a Valium? And he said, because I want to charge you more money. I don't know. So I'll report on that later. So let's see if I can adjust my camera and if we can get this drop in. That would be awesome. So let's let's see how I can show this to you so you can see how thick that drop is and how it kind of sits there in my eye. Because I only have 2 hands and I need a 3rd hand to do this, I'm not going to use my 10 times magnification mirror. I'm going to use my 5 time and hope my eye stays in the center where the camera is focused. Okay, so here's my little bottle. I'm going to shake it a little bit just in case that helps. And I'm going to pull this down. Can you see that? And I'm going to, oh, you see that drop? See how white that is? Can you see that? I know it's gross. And I'm just going to move my eye around. And so this is my midday. This is 3 times a day, so it's, they say breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So in the morning, the afternoon, and later in the day or evening. Okay, and I'm just blinking, but it's goopy. So yeah, that was surprising. And like I said, I hope I don't run out. I did notice that after I put the drop in first thing in the morning, that some of the goopiness of the drop wound up in this inner corner. So that was weird. And yeah, so it's not, yeah, it's like gathering in that corner. So it's odd. It's just an odd drop, and it would have been nice to know in their literature, in their writing. It's interesting because even in the writing that I was given for another surgery, for my foot surgery, all the literature they gave me, so on my last appointment, they gave me a lot of stuff, and then I went home on surgery day with a lot of stuff. It was the physician's assistant who created all the documentation. And one of the weird things she did was to tell me, hey, you might find a cane helpful for bunion surgery, but that was in the documentation I went home with on the day of surgery. And I said, no, you need to tell me that I might be able to use a cane earlier so I can get the cane and have it. So some of these things I might tell him on my appointment the day after surgery, you know, just some tips. And I've spent some time earlier in my career as an instructional designer, so I'm always thinking about, okay, what is the lowest common denominator of information that someone might need and might not assume. So anyway, all kinds of surprises. I don't like being surprised with this stuff. And then, of course, in the morning, I wait 5 minutes. I put this one in first because the liquidy one, the anti-inflammatory, just goes in the eye and it doesn't do this creamy thing. And I do this one, the antibiotic, the thick one, second after waiting 5 minutes or more. So that's all I wanted to tell you. I'm really looking forward to being able to see again. And it'll be fun to have one eye done so I can compare in the 2 weeks between the 2 surgeries to say, oh yeah, I see really clearly out of this eye. I'm so excited to have the second eye done. So anyway, that's all I wanted to tell you. Check out the other videos on the playlist by clicking one of the images on the right side of your screen or the little eye in the upper right hand corner. And I'll see you in the next video.